in 3, 2. Hey, Jordan, so talk to us. Tell me one or a couple tactics, strategies, or thoughts we can do with in-house membership plans that can definitely help other practice owners out if we were to implement it today.
Sure, dude. Yeah, absolutely. So there are lots of things you can do. The first thing that I would recommend everyone do when they have a dental membership program, they're offering it to their patients, is be very conscious about your demographics. A lot of practices don't understand, or what I've seen out there, they'll just copy like their neighbor down the street, the practice down the street, in terms of pricing and benefits, which is okay on the benefit standpoint, but you got to understand your own pricing and the demographics that you're targeting. For example, if you are living here, I'm in Utah, so I'm going to use a Utah city in
Mhm.
Lehi, Utah, which is where our office is at. I think the median income is 106K a year here, and the poverty levels are very low, and there's a lot of tech companies. So if I were a practice here, I would definitely make sure I price my membership program based off of the median income. We found that the most successful practices will price their membership pricing between 0.30% and like just under a 0.5% of the median income. And that's how we get the yearly subscription. So that's what I recommend, is understanding your demographics. In addition to that, when you're looking at demographics, look at all the local businesses in your area. There are so many local small businesses that are trying to retain employees right now in this day and age where it is an employee market,
Mhm.
meaning employees are leaving and finding other jobs elsewhere, and the employer needs some type of mechanism to help retain and attract new and their existing employees. So using it, helping your local business their employees as a benefit for joining the whatever company it may be a small marketing company, marketing agency, or a an accounting firm. There's so many different industry types. I usually tend to say focus on health conscious industries. So industries that typically work face to face with people. They don't want to be missing a teeth or having nasty looking
Mhm.
teeth. If they're facing people, a lot of medical spas are health conscious. Uh, so finding those types of businesses and talking to the business owner and basically educating them on how a dental membership program can help retain their employees, but also make them look like the superhero by giving their employees something, a benefit plan. So we do this here at Boom Cloud. All of our employees, there's a practice down the street, Dr. Anderson
Mhm.
in Pleasant Grove, Utah. He has a membership program that we help power, and all of Boom Cloud pays for all of our employees to have a dental membership program through his plan, and they absolutely love it. So that it's one way we use to attract and retain our employees. But that's what I would encourage other practices to do, is find businesses that will benefit them. I think that's a wonderful marketing strategy to grow a membership program, and that's, I would say, the hardest part about the easiest part of creating and growing a membership program is actually designing the plan and saying, this is what we got, right? The
Mhm.
hardest is communicating to patients and growing the membership program to hundreds or even thousands of active membership patients. And I recommend, B2B, focusing on local businesses is such a great way to talk to one person, but you get many, right? Their employees. So that's one of my biggest tips. That is a trend right now in dentistry, and I think go deep in it. it'll
Yeah.
it'll it'll help grow that membership program and drive even more new patients to the practice. So that's one of my biggest tips, in addition to the knowing your demographics. The reason on Let's go back a little bit on the demographics,
Mhm.
because I got a story. One practice that we've worked with, they were in a very low income, high poverty area,
Mhm.
and they just copied a plan from somebody else in another state. They're like, yeah, we'll just do this and we'll see if it works. And they struggled to get anybody to sign up to their membership program. And a membership program is a volume game. You're not going to be very successful if you can only sign up 10, 20, 30, even 50 active patients. You need hundreds to thousands to make it really um, be a large benefit to the practice. And this particular practice just overcharged basically based off of their demographic, and were unable to grow. But until they realized that that's what they were doing, and we helped them, shift their plan, they started signing up more and more patients to the membership program because they got the demographics right. And it's so important to understand your market and what's around you from a local business standpoint to the median income of your city or county or
Mhm.
multiple counties that you target, depending on your location. It's
Yeah.
so important to do that in regards to growing your membership program. That would be the foundation of it. So those would be my 2 tips for growing your dental membership program.
When it comes to the demographics, where's the starting point, Jordan? Like, let's just say, all right, I want to do this. I want to start finding out my demographics. I created a really simple plan, right? 2
Mhm.
cleanings, things like that. Where do we go from here now? Like, what's
Yeah,
the immediate step?
great question. So there's websites you can go to. I think that the government has a website that you can go to that looks at your local area. You type your zip code in, and you can see pretty much everything you need to, from the poverty levels to the median income, to the population size. Population size does matter too, because if you're in a location, I think it's like consensus.org or something.
Mhm.
I don't remember the exact thing, but if you uh, Google search, your city and state, and say population and median income, you'll be able to
Mhm.
find lots of resources out there. But I think it's consensus.org. I'm happy to get the actual URL because I don't remember boring URLs like that. Um, but I would say so you want to look at the median income
Mhm.
of the city or cities or counties you're looking at, the poverty level of, is it high, is it low? Because that will say, okay, well, median income looks great, but if the poverty level is super high, that gets me thinking. And then the population size. So like if you're in a bigger population of what we've seen here, if you're under 800,000 citizens in a city,
Mhm.
you can actually get a little bit closer to 1% of the median income. Meaning, um, if the median income is $100,000 a year, you can take 1% of that and make that your price for your membership, your annual price for your membership program. So that's when I say 1% of the median income, that's what I'm talking about. So those are the 3 things that we typically look at. And then back to the population size, the smaller the population, you got to be a little bit more conscious, and a little bit more tighter in regards to the percentage you charge of that median income. It can't be, if you're like a million uh, uh, citizens in a city or whatever, um, you're going to have a little bit more flexibility because there's just more people to market to,
Yeah.
right? It's not rocket science. So that's kind of how I look at those metrics, and how my team is trained here to look at those metrics to help a practice. I mean, pricing is so key. Often, either people price too low and they feel like they're getting a ton of success, but they're not profitable with a membership plan. And it's important to be profitable, because you're scaling this to hundreds or thousands of people.
Mhm.
Meaning, if you're scaling a negative profit, you're scaling a negative profit, right? It'll just
Yeah.
keep getting bigger and bigger. You don't want to do that. Um, so a lot of people either charge too little or too much, and it just makes it really hard to grow a membership program if it's not the right pricing. So that's the foundation level, right? And then what we've seen too come about with the lower pricing plans. There's a lot of like discount only membership programs.
Mm.
It seems like a lot of those are happening right now. Meaning, if you are in a low poverty area, sometimes you will not you'll offer like a discount only membership program where they get discounts, and based off of like a traditional membership program, patients are getting exams and cleanings included. This would just give a discount to exams and cleanings, and whatever that maybe depending on the practice, it can range from 10% to 35% discount off of like a cleaning and things like that and whatever. So I do see a lot of that in the lower income areas because it's sometimes hard to include every single benefit that a traditional membership program offers
Mhm.
and and match that like the poverty levels and the median income levels of a lower income city. So that's kind of my
Yeah.
2 cents there.
I like that because you don't want to be too like, you don't, I mean, not to like speak, lowly on anybody, but like I wouldn't want to price my membership plan too low. And then I get like a lot of the patients I kind of don't want, you know what I mean? At the same
Sure.
time,
Yeah.
but I do want to know like, oh, what's the perfect price? So the three things we need
Yeah.
to look out for is, can you reiterate again?
Yeah. So the 3 things I would say, that the median income of the cities you're targeting,
Mm-hmm.
the poverty level. So if it's a lower poverty level, you have a little bit more flexibility in terms of your pricing.
Mm-hmm.
If it's higher, you just got to be a little bit more conscious. And you may have to run some surveys or just know your customer base, patient base.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one would be the population size. If the larger the population, the more you can move towards 1% of the median income in terms of pricing your yearly subscription fee for your membership.
Gotcha, gotcha. So
Yeah.
we do those three things, and then
Yep.
from that point on, we kind of start coming. I think it's good because that way we don't have to copy like the other practice down the road and be like, well, they're charging this much, and then we're probably copying a plan that doesn't even work really well.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to copy. You want to know the science behind it, in my opinion, because not every practice understands the behind the scenes mechanisms of what makes a plan profitable. And then the same thing, you can do the demographics in regards to attracting small businesses. You can ask those questions like, hey, what's the average salary you're providing all your employees, and you can kind of reverse engineer that as well if the employer is open to talking. But you can a lot of practices will create custom plans for each small business based off of the size of the business, so population,
Mm-hmm.
the income amounts, and then we typically don't look at poverty level with with
Yeah.
businesses because most people are getting paid pretty decent, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I like that. I like that a lot. Where if you sign up like a big like warehouse or corporation, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, yeah, we can definitely make this happen. And they like provide their own insurance, you know what I mean? For them.
Yeah, and sometimes practice, if they're offering to a small business, the larger the business, they just get deeper discounts, not like PPO deep discounts.
Yeah.
That's insane. We don't want to replicate the PPOs, but they get a better offering because of the volume of patients they're bringing to the practice. So that's kind of how we look at it and what is going on out there in the industry.
Nice, man. Awesome,
Yeah.
Jordan. I appreciate your time. And if anyone has further questions, you can definitely find them on the Dental Marketer Society Facebook group, or where can they reach out to you directly?
So you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or Facebook. These days, I feel like I'm more active on LinkedIn. I don't know why. And of course, you can go to our website, boomcloud.com, and that's BOOMCLOUD.com. And you can schedule a demo to see how our software helps create and organize and even help you grow your dental membership program. So those are the best ways to find me.
Awesome. So, guys, that's going to be in the show notes below, as always. And a quick side note, if you're listening on the podcast, make sure you look at the video to see Jordan's background because it's a pretty cool looking background. But I appreciate you, Jordan, man. Thank you so much for everything. And thank you for being with me on this Monday morning marketing episode.
Thanks, dude.